announcement is there. Tomorrow there is an expert talk. Just a minute, I'll be announcing it. I'm audible clearly, right?
Ma'am, you are audible, but the background noise is very much there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yes, tomorrow from 11 to 1 there is an expert talk for the topic CN and research opportunity in your computer network. And Dr. Kaushika Patel from BBM will be taking your expert talk. And yes, on 25th of August you have the unit test 1. Uh, from the syllabus of for that unit test is posted. So it is mandatory for all you people to join the expert talk. If you don't join the expert talk, then your marks for the unit test will not be considered, right? So it is compulsory for all of you to join the expert talk. If there is any students who have not joined yet, you have to inform them that they have to join this expert talk tomorrow from 11 to 1. Yes, can you tell me that up to which topic ma'am has covered? Yes, any one of you?
One that for a longer
Yes, can you tell me? In the last lecture, Vidhi ma'am has taught which topic? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I think you don't remember that which topic you have reached. So I am informed that I have to cover from the crash recovery. My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you people are discussing about the transport layer, right? So application layer is covered, and now we are going to discuss about the transport layer, right? So yes, so I think you are aware about of connection oriented protocols and connection less protocols. Is there any idea about the connection oriented and connection less protocol? Okay, so today's topic is the crash recovery. I think I will be presenting some other window so it will be more convenient to you. Okay, so now I'm writing something. Is it visible in the red color?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So today we will be discussing about the crash recovery. So if you consider host and router, uh, you all of you are aware about what is host and what is routers. Yes. What is host? Any idea?
PC or user.
Yeah, any users, right? So it can be a client or it can be a server. But if you are using a machine, I can say that you are a host now, right? And what is router?
It's a networking device.
Yeah, it is a networking device and it will be routing the traffic towards its actual destination, right? So this host and routers can crash, right? So all of you are aware from the word crash, right? So what is a crash? That particular system is working and suddenly it stops working, right? And everything, every work which is already done in that machine is lost, right? If you are in between of some work, you can lose your work, right? In case of the crash, right? So
Hello,
if you
ma'am.
yes,
Can we please start recording?
see, I'm starting recording, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to reply, right? You have to be interact in order to get the particular outcomes for the subject, right? So I need your answers in between. So don't be such a person that is not responding to anything, right? So this is applicable to everyone. Yes. So if hosts and routers are subject to crashes, recovery from this crash becomes an issue, right? So, yes, we all know that everything crashes, right? And we need to recover from that crash. So, this is the essential thing, right? So, if the transport entity is entirely within the host, recovery from the network and the router crash is straightforward, right? So, the particular entity which is transporting every traffic, every packets, right? So if it is entirely within the host, then host know that a particular thing is crashed, and you and the host have to retransmit the packet, right? So it is quite easier to recover from the from the network, and the router crash is recovered by the host itself. So if a network layer provides the datagram service, so what is the datagram service? Any idea? Okay, so we will be discussing about user datagram service very soon. So what happens when a datagram service is done? That will be we will be discussing at that topic only. So there are particularly there are two types of origin, and second one is connectionless. We will discuss in depth while we are discussing about the protocols which are connection oriented and connectionless. But the thing is, the concept of this connection oriented and connectionless is that suppose this is one entity and this is a second entity, right? So what connection oriented service will do, it will first establish a connection. Suppose this user 1 wants to send some packets to user 2, right? So first of all, it will connect to the user 2 and then it will send the packet, right? So there will be a channel between both of these entities, right? So entity 1 will be sending some packets to entity 2 only after the connection is established, right? and this connection will be remained until the this sending of the packets is done, right? And connection, what is connectionless? Without any connection, it will start sending the packets, right? So that is called connectionless service. And connectionless services is also called a datagram service. So you have the user datagram protocol, UDP protocol, that is connectionless protocol, and you have the TCP protocol. You must have heard about the UDP protocol and TCP protocol. These two protocols can uh, dictate the essential of this connectionless and connection oriented services, right? So if a network layer is providing the connection oriented service, the loss of a virtual circuit is handled by establishing a new connection, right? And the remote transport entity which is sending the particular TPDU, it will be asking that it has received and which TPDUs are not received, right? So I have used the term TPDU. What is TPDU? You have already discussed most of this chapter, so you must be aware about of the term TPDU. Yes, anyone? Okay, your TPDU is your transport protocol data unit, right? So whenever I will be pronouncing the word packet, you can consider the transport protocol data unit in the case of transport layer. So wherever you have a message in your transport layer, you consider it as TPDU, right? So whenever we want to send something, we are sending a TPDU in a transport layer. Right. So in case of connection oriented services, what actions we have to take? We have to re-establish the connection and we have to resend the TPDUs. This was all about the router crashes, right? And you can consider the problem of host crash, right? So the problem of host crash is more troublesome because it may be desirable for clients to be able to continue working with server crash and then quickly reboot the server, right? So to illustrate the difficulty, let us assume that one host, the client, is sending a long file to another host, right? So the another host can be at the file server. So using a simple stop and wait protocol, you must have studied the stop and wait protocol in your previous semester or a previous year in the TCN, right? So it will be sending some message and it will be waiting for uh, acknowledgement and it will be received the acknowledgement and it will again send the message, right? So this is the working of the stop and wait protocol. So if it is using a simple stop and wait protocol, the, the transport layer on the server simply passes the incoming TPDUs to the transport layer one by one, right? So, so during this transmission, the server crashes, and when it comes back, its tables are reinitialized, and it no longer knows that where it was precisely, right? So this is the problem with the host crashes, right? So in an attempt to recover its previous status, the server might send a broadcast TPDU to all other hosts, right? So what a server can do, server will be sending a broadcast TPDU to all other hosts. And what it will be doing, it will be announcing that it had just crashed, and it will be requesting that its clients to inform it of the status of all the open connection, right? So it will be asking for the status of all open connection. Right. So there can be one, two, three, or more TPDUs with which the clients are working, right? And suppose I have one, two, three, four clients, right? So suppose first client has missed one TPDU, it has missed two TPDUs, it has missed three TPDUs, and many more can be there, right? So server will be broadcast the TPDU to all the hosts, and it will ask the connection of sorry, it will ask the status of the open connections, right? So host will be telling the servers that yes, I have missed one TPDU, I have missed two, or I have missed three, right? And as soon as the server knows that yes, this host has missed one TPDU, it will be retransmitting that TPDU that host to that host. So at first glance, so we are discussing the concept of crash, right? So in order to overcome the crashes, right? So we just at a first glance we might think that yes, we can always retransmit the particular things, right? That are being transmitted. If the crash is there, whatever you have transmitted before the crash, you can retransmit everything, right? So this can be our initial view of the crash recovery. But one thing is that suppose one client is there, and the client is sending an acknowledgement, right? So I am writing ACK in terms of acknowledgement. So suppose a client has sent the acknowledgement that yes, I have received the complete packet, complete TPDU, all the TPDUs I have received, and it is sending acknowledgement. So there are several tasks which are being done during this sending process. That suppose I am the client and I am receiving some TPDUs. I will be receiving some TPDUs, and I will be storing these TPDUs in my buffer space. Okay? So this will be my temporary space where I am storing this, right? So yes, I have received all the TPDUs and I have all the packets in my buffer space, right? And after that, I can acknowledgement. I can send acknowledgement to the server, right? But the essential thing is whatever I have in my buffer space, I need to save those things into my memory. Right? So this task we will be calling it a write operation. Right? So suppose I am sending the acknowledgement packet before my write operation. The server will be aware about of the thing that you have received all packets. You have received all the packets, right? But actually, you might crash before this write operation. Client has crashed before the write operation, right? So this is the problem, right? Because buffer will be lost, and acknowledgement is already sent, so server will think that yes, you have received all the packets, but actually you have not saved all the packets, right? So you will lose everything. So at first glance, it would seem obvious that the client should retransmit only if and only if it has an unacknowledgement TPDU outstanding, right? So when it learns of the crash, uh, the closer inspection reveals the difficulty with the naive approach that suppose you can take an example that a situation in which the server's transport entity first sends the acknowledgement, and then when the acknowledgement has been sent, writes the application process, right, that we have taken the example. So writing a TPDU onto the output stream and sending the acknowledgement are two distinct events that are being done simultaneously. So if a crash occurs after the acknowledgement has been sent but before the write has been done, the client will receive the acknowledgement and it will be in the state S0. So this condition which I have explained, we will be calling this condition as a state 0. So whenever the crash recovery announcement arrives, your client will be in the state 0, that yes, acknowledgement has been sent and only the write process is remaining. So because the client is in the state 0, because the client is in the state 0, your server will not be retransmitting. So server will think that this TPDU has arrived to the client, right? So at the client side, this TPDU will be missing. So at this point, we might think that yes, this problem can be solved easily by just doing the programming, like the transport entity have to first do the write procedure and then send the acknowledgement, right? So yes, here we have done receiving procedure, then we have sent acknowledgement, and then we have done write process, right? So we can reprogram the system and we can write that receive, then you can write, and then you can send acknowledgement. Yes, this is the solution, we might think like that. But in this case also, there might be some situation where this protocol fails for the recover properly, right? So you can say that the server can be programmed into two different ways. First, acknowledgement first and then write, and client can be your client can be programmed in one of four ways. First one is always retransmit the last TPDU, never retransmit the last TPDU, and retransmit only in the state of S0, and retransmit only in the state of S1, right? So all these things, yes, server can be programmed like this or like this, right? And the client can be programmed like in four ways, right? So we have six different options, two for server and four for the clients, right? So when we combine these strategies, we can create different combinations of the sending and receiving the packets or you can say the TPDUs. So yes, I will be explaining it in more detail. So there are three events which are possible at the server. Right? So first one is sending an acknowledgement. So we will calling it a process A. Second one is writing to the output process. We will be calling it a W. And a crash. And there can be three events. These three events can occur in six different orderings, right? So you can acknowledge first, then the server can crash, and after crash we cannot write, right? This is the one option. Right? You can first acknowledgement, then you have written everything in the output process, and then the server may crash, right? Then your server may crash, and your crash cannot follow the write and acknowledge process. And the third thing you can do is you can write to the output stream, and then you send the acknowledgement, and then your server is crashed. And next option is you can write to your output stream, and then your server is crashed, and then you can send the acknowledgement, but after crash you cannot do anything, right? So the thing that we have included this parts into the circular bracket, that means after crash nothing can be happen, right? So there are different combinations of the client and server strategies, right? So there can be one strategy that always retransmit, right? So in this strategy, if you consider that this A, right? So if you consider this one ACW, right? So if you consider that yes, you have acknowledged, and if some server is sending a packet and you have acknowledged it, and then the server is crashed, and then you cannot write into the output stream, right? And the server will be always retransmitting. That means you will always receive the packet again, right? So retransmitted packet will be received by you, right? So that is okay, right? So this strategy will work fine in the case of always retransmit. If you consider this strategy, so suppose you have acknowledged the packet and you have returned it to your output stream, and then your server is crashed, right? So in this case, if the retransmission occurs, it will create a duplicate packet, right? So duplication will be there. If you consider this strategy, that your particular host is crashed, and then you cannot write or you cannot acknowledge the particular packet. In this case, if retransmission is there, it will work fine. It is okay. So this tree, in this three uh, strategies. So let me consider this. Okay, before that we will be considering one more strategy. Crash and then acknowledged and then write, right? So here, if a crash is occurred already, then you cannot do anything. And if retransmission is there, it will work fine. So in these three strategies, you can see that it first acknowledge and then write, right? So here first it is acknowledged and write is remaining. Here first it is acknowledged and then you are writing. And here, since it is crashed, you cannot acknowledge or write, right? So in these three strategies, you have considered first acknowledgement and then write. Now you have the fourth one, CWA, right? Which we have already discussed. It was okay in the case of always retransmit. Right? So that we have already discussed, so I'm not explaining it. Then you have, suppose you have received and then you have written everything and then you are sending the acknowledgement and then the server is crashed and it is always retransmitting. So in this case, it will create a duplicate packet, right? And in the last one, if you are writing the packet and then your server is crashed and now you are not able to acknowledge, right? So because you have already received the packet and you have written it into the output stream, but you were not able to acknowledge the packet. In this case, if the server is retransmitting, it will create a duplicate packet, right? So this was the case of always retransmit. And these three strategies, apart from this, you can see that here we are first writing and then acknowledged, right? So one strategy can be this, always retransmit. One more strategy can be there, because we are facing some duplication in this always retransmit strategy. We can have one more strategy, that is never retransmit, right? So in the first case, so we will be considering this line in all these strategies. So in the first case, here we have ACW. That means I have received the packet and I have acknowledged the packet and now it is crashed, right? So because it is crashed, we cannot follow the right procedure. So, and the server is not retransmitting, you can say that your packet will be lost, right? Because your host is already crashed and you are not able to write that packet into your machine, or you can say into your output stream. So your packet will be lost. Yes, in the second case, you have received the TPDU and you have acknowledged it, and then you are writing to the TPDU, and then the server is crashed and the server is not retransmitting. So then it is okay, because you have already acknowledged it and you have already returned it. So no duplication will be there, no loss will be there. Coming to the third one, initially the host is crashed. My screen is visible, right? So coming to the third one, so first of all, crash has been occurred, right? So we are not able to acknowledge or write. So in this case, if the server is not retransmitting or it is following the strategy never retransmit, in this case your packet will be lost. And following this one, the fourth one, so crash is there and write and acknowledge is there. In this case, it will also follow the lost, right? So your packet will be lost because you have not written anything and you have not acknowledged anything. And in the fifth one, you have received the packet, you have written it to the output stream, you have sent the acknowledgement, and then uh, your machine is crashed, right? So your work is already done, you have already received it, acknowledged it, and returned it, so you can say that is okay. And in this case, you have already returned it and the particular machine is crashed, and then you are not able to acknowledge, right? In this case, the server is not retransmitting. In this case, it is okay because your work is done, you have already returned it, right? The main thing is that we have to write it in order to lose, the product. If the packet is lost, if you want to overcome this limitation, you have to always write, right? And in order to overcome limitation of duplication, you have to always acknowledge, right? But your server is not retransmitting at all, it will not be a problem of duplication. So here you can see that in this line, in this row, there is no duplication, but here it is, because it is always retransmitting, there is a duplication, right? So in all the strategies, there will be some problems and there will be some issues that we have to deal with it. And yes, we have discussed the two two strategies for the server, and we have discussed two conditions of the client. Yes, just a minute, I'll be telling you. Yes. So either, as I have told you before, either a client can be in the state 1 or either a client can be a state 0. So this means there is one TPDU outstanding and this is the case when there is no TPDUs outstanding. Right. So based on this condition of the client, you can also select the position that retransmit in the case of position S0 or retransmit in the case of position S1 or never retransmit in the case of position S0 or never retransmit in the case of position S1. Okay, so retransmission in the case of S0 and retransmission in the case of S1, I will be covering this part in tomorrow's lecture. So as of now, it is done. All of you, please stay in the meet link. I will be taking your attendance. If there is any question, you can ask. Any question regarding today's lecture, you are free to ask. Okay, I think there is no more questions. Thank you everyone. You can leave.